So entanglement could be a little bit of a problem, and there's different ways that we become entangled. So how do you recognize entanglement? Perhaps a drain of energy that's inexplicable. Okay, so I'm talking about extreme cases here. Obviously, not every time you feel tired is there a cord involved, but it could be a drain of energy. On the more extreme level, you might sort of hear voices in your head that aren't yours. It could come up in dreams. It could come up while you're relaxing or while you're driving or in the shower, but voices that aren't yours.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Cindy Cromwell-Home. I'm the director of the International School of Intuition and Healing, and it's really lovely to see you all here this evening. We have a really wonderful conversation for you tonight. We're going to be talking about cord cutting, the entanglement that cords create. And, it's really a little bit about our energy as well. I have two of my co-tutors, partners in crime, who have both been with the school for a long, long time. And I don't do them justice. So I'm going to let them introduce themselves. And Soleil, over to you. You introduce yourself and yes.
Hello, everyone. Welcome or welcome back if you were with us last week. My name is Sole Kirko. I'm indeed one of the tutors at the School of Intuition and Healing. I teach energy healing, having been one of the students of the energy healing course many moons ago, and also tarot. So very excited to be here tonight. Cord cutting is such a massive topic, not just for the students and part of the curriculum that we cover, but also I see it a lot in my personal practice and work with clients. So hopefully this is going to be a great conversation for all of us to get stuck in tonight.
And Dennis, over to you. Welcome, Dennis.
Thank you, Cindy. Good evening, everyone. Thanks for coming. So I'm Dennis, one of the tutors with our International School of Intuition and Healing. I love teaching the extended healing course, the energy healing course, and the foundations in spiritual development, as well as our energy management, and then, of course, cord cutting. So that's my position here. I've been with the school for a while. Met Cindy about 11 years ago at a hospice, of all things. And we've journeyed through COVID. I've watched Cindy expand the school into the beautiful international institution that it is here. I'm happy to see Cindy in Cape Town. And Cindy, if you have any time, maybe we can pop a hike in. So let me know if you have the time.
Oh, definitely. We're going to have lots of fun. In fact, we're planning a 888 Lions Gate on the beach somewhere to watch the sunrise. Sorry, everyone who's not in Cape Town, but we will be doing that. And we will send out that information soon. It's hot off the press. Claire Crichton will be helping us lead. She'll bring our drum and we'll do some channeling on the beach and just bring in that energy. So it's not about that tonight. So let's stop making people jealous about Cape Town and let's move into tonight and really get an idea of what are cords. And I think there's quite a lot of misconception about cords and cording to people and thinking once they cut, then you're cutting people out of your lives. And just really understanding that actually all healing work is done in the heart. And I think just bringing ourselves into the heart tonight. And what I'd like to do is pop a question to Soleil around how do energetic cords form? How do we recognize them?
So the first thing that I want to say is we all have energetic cords. Energetic cords are normal. They're a fact of life. The main thing is not all of them are beneficial or supportive to us and our energy. perhaps you've noticed that I'm trying to steer clear from the positive and negative type of language. But codes are basically energetic connections that we create with other people, places, situations, objects. I mean, all of us, I'm sure, are coded to our phone, for example, or our home, our loved ones. So codes are very much part of the ecosystem of our energy and the way that we relate with others, and, or as I said, ideas or places or situations, objects, etc. The trick is figuring out how to relate to all of those things in a way that is balanced, that is healthy, that is supportive for ourselves and for others. So we'll chat a little bit about this tonight.
Thank you. And Dennis, I'm really curious from your eyes when these become entangled.
So, Cindy, I get the sense that, excuse me, Soleil and myself are playing good cop, bad cop tonight. And I'm the bad one, I'm afraid. So I get to talk about entanglement. But the good news is Soleil will finish with a lovely positive meditation where you connect with a loved one or something in a positive way. So entanglement, yeah, that's a could be a little bit of a problem, and there's different ways that we become entangled. So you can start noticing perhaps a drain of energy. So how do you recognize entanglement? Perhaps a drain of energy that's inexplicable. Okay, so I'm talking about extreme cases here. Obviously, not every time you feel tired is there a cord involved, but it could be a drain of energy. On the more extreme level, you might sort of hear voices in your head that aren't yours. So it could come up in dreams. It could come up while you're relaxing or while you're driving or in the shower, but voices that aren't yours. I recall one student, she had a work situation where there was a lot of jealousy at work, and then through that, they entangled cords with each other. And she started hearing this. It was almost like a documentary, like a negative documentary that came in snatches. And that sort of highlighted her, hold on, I think I'm entangled with this person in a work situation. So then you work out, okay, how do I disentangle? And that's what we're going to cover this evening. Also, inexplicable sicknesses. So let's say you get sick, you go to the doctor, and you can't really tell what it is, but it continues over a long period of time. Then that could possibly be someone or something that is draining your energy away over a period of time. And it's really good to find out how to stop that and prevent it. So, Cindy, is that enough about entanglement in a sense?
Yeah, I really want to bring up, because what I'm hearing, and just I want to say from my side, it takes two to entangle. Almost like it takes two to tango, it takes two to entangle. There is something in each energy cord. A cord is energy between two people. And if a cord is draining, there's something within the receiving a draining cord. So an energy can go two ways in a cord. And I really just want to go because often the blame gets to the person who's saying bad things to you or bullying you or whatever. But we always need to remember the responsibility of our energy, which we discussed last week, this energy management. But remembering that our energy, if a negative cord, or if the negative, but these energy cords that are draining and whatever, to our energy field, kind of we're catching them as well. And so before we do a deep dive into, all these different types of chords, Dennis, do you want to kind of take us through how we recognize them and how we know that they're there? And yeah, do you want to talk about that and maybe jump into something with that?
Yeah, absolutely. So I like what you said about it's a two-way street, and you always have the option to catch the ball or to put the ball down. So I think it's good to remember that even though we are corded negatively or positively, there's lessons within that. So it's kind of like we're here in the Earth School, And we're here to learn and grow and expand and what have you. So we can also look at chords as a way of growth and learning. So if you need to learn a lesson with someone, it could be likely that you will chord with them so that you can learn the lesson together. We can even talk about karmic chords as well, Cindy. Perhaps two people have a karmic contract where they're together to learn the lessons together, and that connection will stay for some period of time, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you try and break that contract, that karmic contract, it might reattach until you've learned your lessons, and then the two parties can move on further. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
how do we recognize that we're corded? So perhaps you can feel a chord. So it might feel like something is stuck. So let's talk about the solar plexus. Okay, so your solar plexus is one of your seven major chakras, and it's often the most corded chakra because it's your power center. And whoever's trying to control you or manipulate you might be corded through that power center to drain your energy. Okay, so you might feel a sense of maybe your gut feels like yucky, or feels like you've got a lot of tension in that area. Maybe you have some pain. Maybe you can even know that there's a blockage there because you feel stuck. So it's kind of a stuckness, a blockage, a little bit of uncomfortable feeling like your energy is draining away, something like that.
Beautiful. And Dennis, could you give us like an exercise that we might be able to do when we do recognize these, rather than, a whole detailed cord cutting? Are there ways when just sometimes when you've been in different places or things and you're feeling your energy starting to drain, and you know that you've connected to energies or places that are not necessary? I think the one that really you can cord to is for those of you who don't shop online. Well, I guess you could attach a cord to Amazon, for example, or take a lot in the southern hemisphere, and then kind of come away from that energy or whatever. But rather than, is there a way that we can come into our energy, see those chords that need releasing, and just to allow our energy the best chance that it has to be vital and, you know, empowered?
Mm. Yeah, absolutely. So we can do a real powerful but simple generic exercise, and I'll just explain it. Before I do, Cindy, I think you must be psychic because talking about online shopping, I intend to buy hiking boots tomorrow. So hopefully that's not a bad thing. Hopefully that's okay. But yeah, I promise to stop there. Hiking boots, and that's it, nothing else. Okay. So
Don't you need a new rucksack and some sticks as well?
no, no, no. Hiking boots, nothing else. So, to come back to the exercise, so we can talk about a white light disc, and let me explain that. Our students on the energy healing course actually do it on the course, so it's a very powerful exercise. So, I'm going to talk about our physical body, which we're going to clear energetically, and then we're going to clear the subtle bodies as well. So, a little explanation. So, physical energy body. Then we'll talk about the etheric body, which is kind of like the blueprint of your physical body. And these subtle bodies are all interconnected. So, your etheric body sits within your physical body and extends about 2.5 centimeters, 1 inch out of your body. You can think of your chakras being aligned in that energetic etheric body. Then we expand out a little bit, maybe 15 centimeters, 6 inches, and we can talk about our emotional body. Okay, holds all your emotions, self-explanatory. Then we shift out a little bit further, and you have your mental body that contains all your thought forms, belief systems, and what have you. Extend out a little bit further, and we have our entire auric field, which is our spiritual body container. So if you think of all of these layers inter sort of acting and expanding out to the auric field contracts and expands But think of it for tonight around about a meter away from you, above you, below you, to the sides, front and back. Then when it comes to a white light disk that we're going to use, think of a white light disk, so a flat disk made up of beautiful scintillating white light, as wide as your auric field. So maybe 2 meters across, sitting above your head, above your aura. And then we're going to bring that disk down through the different bodies. So we'll bring down 5 different disks one by one. And you hold the intention that that scintillating white light disk will gather all negativity, all attachments, and all basic cords underneath it, draw them down and away from you, all the way down underneath your feet and into the earth. Then that energy goes into the earth and is transmuted into positive or neutral energy. So energy never gets destroyed. It just gets transmuted or exchanged or changed. So we'll take all of that negativity down into the earth. And imagine while that white light disk is gathering all that negativity, at the same time, it's leaving beautiful, let's say beautiful golden positivity in its wake. And we'll do that 5 times, releasing energy that doesn't serve us, releasing attachments, releasing basic cords, and we'll see how you feel afterwards. Does that sound okay, Cindy?
That sounds beautiful. Thank you, Dennis.
Okay, brilliant. All right. So if you'll settle yourself down for this exercise, it's quite good if you can have your feet flat on the floor so you feel nice and grounded. Hands in your lap. Just allow your body to start settling into your chair. And I invite you to gently close your eyes. So we begin by just noticing our breath, where your breath enters and exits your nostrils. And just hold your attention there on the sensation of your breath moving in and your breath moving out. And anytime you focus on your breath, you'll notice your physical body relaxing and your mind becoming stiller. And then take your attention to your heart center in the center of your chest. We call this the seat of your soul. And just allow the energy within your heart to gently expand and perhaps open up like a golden flower. So just expand that energy to roughly the size of a cricket ball, tuning into that compassion that resides within your heart. And then imagine sending down a golden beam of light from your heart all the way down to the base of your spine, and then further down into the earth. Allow that golden light to expand down, 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 deeper down into the earth, and then make a strong connection to Gaia or the earth energy. You might silently affirm to yourself, I am grounded. Take your attention back to your heart center. And then just get a sense of that divine spark that resides within your heart center. See if you can sense, feel, or imagine this beautiful divine spark within you. And now you might silently affirm, I am attuned and connected to the divine within me. And then from that heart center, expand out a beautiful bubble of light expanding out beyond your physical body, beyond your etheric, beyond your emotional, beyond your mental, and then encompassing your entire auric field. So you have this beautiful bubble of light, gold or silver or white, surrounding you 1 meter above, a meter below you, to the back, to the front, and both sides. And now I invite you to silently affirm, I am protected. Then imagine that white light disk above your auric field, above your head. And we're going to bring that disk down slowly through your physical body, releasing anything that doesn't serve you. So begin to imagine that white light disk moving down, down into your head area, cleansing and clearing, down through towards your shoulders, moving slowly down through your torso, gathering what doesn't serve you, and leaving behind a beautiful positivity. Keep that disc moving down, down through your torso towards your hips, down past your hips, through your legs to your knees, and down, down, further down, all the way into the earth, and just allow it to be transmuted into neutral or positive energy. Just notice how your physical body feels now. Take your attention back above your head to the top of your auric field and imagine a second white light disk. We're going to bring this disk down to release any negativity, cords, or attachments to our etheric body. So allow that white light disk to begin moving down at a slow, steady pace, gathering negativity, moving down through your head, through your shoulders, leaving behind a beautiful golden positivity, moving down through your torso, gently past your hips, down to your knees, all the way down to your feet, gathering all negativity, and then all the way down below your auric field and into the earth. Imagine a third white light disk above your auric field. We're going to be bringing that down through our emotional body, releasing all emotions that don't serve you. So any hurt, any trauma, any negative emotions, any attachments to any negativity. So imagine that white light disk moving down, down through your head area, moving down through your emotional body, down through your torso, gently goes past your hips, all the way down your legs, towards your feet, into the earth, and change to neutral or positive energy. Imagine a fourth white light disk above your head in your auric field. We're going to sweep that down through our mental body, releasing any belief systems, any negative thoughts, any attachments to others through your thought system. Begin to bring that white light disk down, down towards your crown area, down towards your shoulders, down through your torso, towards your hips, down through your legs to your feet, and continue all the way down into the earth, releasing anything that doesn't serve you. And we come to the last white light disc up above you, above your auric field. We're going to sweep down and release any energy attachments, any attachments to past lives possibly, and whatever doesn't serve you energetically. Allow that white light disc to begin moving down, sweeping through your entire auric field, moving down, down, deeper down, past your shoulders, all the way down through your torso, past your hips, down through your legs, past your feet, all the way into the earth, and releasing any negativity. And then just tune into yourself for a moment. Get a sense of how you're feeling. Hopefully you're feeling somewhat lighter or brighter, a little bit more grounded and connected. So we take our attention back to our grounding. So that golden cord going all the way into the earth. Silently affirm, I am grounded, I am attuned to the divine, and I am protected. And then we slowly return to waking consciousness. So feel your feet flat on the floor. You can rub your forefingers and thumbs together. And when you're ready, you can slowly open your eyes.
My energy's feeling much better. How about everybody else? Feeling that kind of, just getting rid of bits and pieces that had been hanging around, kind of Thursday night. It's like it's been that week, even though I have the beautiful sea energy. However, let us move on, because these cords, I want to come back to these cords, these entanglements, that connects us from our energy fields that, we have our energy field and another energy field, and then we get entangled with individuals or places. And I'd really like to ask Soleil, how guilt, fear, and responsibility feed into these energetic cords between ourselves, objects, people, things, places, sorry.
So earlier you were talking about how it takes two to entangle. And when we refer to this concept, by no means we are victim blaming. If someone is in an abusive relationship, we're not saying it's the fault of the victim for being in that situation. But what we're saying is that when we connect with others, although there might be perhaps one person who has a little bit more of an aggressive energy or intrusive energy, or there is a need or an ask for that person, there is something within our vibration in a number of different ways that might be contributing to that cord establishing itself. So for those of you who were with us last week, we talked about energy management. So one of the basic things is perhaps our energy management is not great. Our grounding is not great. Our energy overall is quite polluted by little energetic rubbish and debris. And perhaps you came into the talk tonight feeling okay, feeling like not much was wrong with you, and then Dennis guided us through this beautiful exercise, and suddenly you feel better, you feel more aligned. Well, that difference is all of the stuff that you were carrying and you were not even aware of it. And then, of course, our protection. So energy management is maybe one of the ways in which, or lack of energy management, I should say, is one of the ways in which perhaps we play our part. We could be a little bit more diligent in keeping our energy in check and not allowing that cord to really establish. But then there are big emotions, big things that happen in life. If we feel fearful that pushing away someone might have an impact on us, then keeping that cord, keeping that connection might be something that on an energetic level, on a subconscious level, we agree to. If we feel responsible towards someone, this might be a child, a former partner, an elderly parent, for example, perhaps someone that we love or loved and cared for, then we feel a need of being supportive of that person. And we feel like, well, I will allow this cord, whether we are energetically savvy or not, whether it's in our awareness or whether it's into our subconscious. So feeling things such as responsibility or hyper responsibility towards someone might create. And again, here is not about guilt tripping anyone into, oh my goodness, you have so many cords, you're really mismanaging your energy. It's just certain environments energetic environments are more conducive to those cords attaching to us and staying that and getting almost like a nice little grip on us and becoming almost so much part of the landscape of our energy that we don't even notice them anymore. It's a fact of life. And perhaps you have that little pain in your body that you're so used to that you don't even notice anymore. And with energy, something very similar can happen. There is an imbalance that's been there for such a long time, whether it was fear, whether it was guilt, shame is another one, definitely another strong situation that can have an impact. But also sometimes anger. So perhaps you can bring to mind a situation where maybe a good friend of yours went through a breakup, a divorce, a separation, and they keep on saying to you, I'm done. That was the right thing. I'm absolutely done. I'm done. I've sent them an email and sent them a text. I called them. I'm done. We have the conversation. It's finished. It's done. It's done. Sometimes even that engaging into repetitive conversations about how done someone is with quite a lot of fervor and anger can be one of the ways that we're still holding that energy. And in holding and entertaining that energy, we created that lovely conducive space within our own energy to hold on to that cord. And then finally, another thing that I would say is we're not all angels here. For as much as Dennis and I are playing good cop and bad cop tonight, perhaps, but we're not all angels, right? We're not all on the receiving end of cords. Cords can be mutual, but also we might be the ones sending out cords. And for as much as that might be a short-term benefit, perhaps we manage to manipulate someone into doing something for us. Perhaps we feel a little bit of control on somebody. There is something that maybe short-term might feel good into our energy, might feel like it's a win. We are built to be perfectly whole into our field. And any exchange of energy that is non-consensual, unbalanced, positive or negative, in a way that has an effect on ourselves and others is something that we need to be very mindful of. So us courting somebody else might feel good in the short term, but it's something that we want to be very, very mindful from a higher perspective. Like we don't want to really create any sort of potential karma for lives to come, but also we don't want our energetic system to be relying on external energy or external connection to someone to supply the things that are within ourselves. And then maybe we just need to take a little bit of time to heal.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. That was a really beautiful answer. And yeah, just that talking behind people's backs, reaffirming when you're angry with somebody, gossiping, that kind of thing. So I think that that's really beautiful. something that we, Dennis, and I'd love to hear about unclear boundaries and unhealthy coding, because obviously these energies are coming to us, and talk a little, or maybe we could even shift that into having good boundaries and preventing cords coming. Let's flip that into having lovely boundaries that prevent cording. What is your experience with that in cords, Dennis?
So I think boundaries also come in. Soleil mentioned our energy management workshop that we had a short while ago, or the energy management course that we teach. And boundaries come into it really, really strongly. So boundaries are kind of, you can think of them as how you allow other people to treat you or how you treat others. And in the sense of, I know that when we tutor, we speak about soft boundaries and spongy boundaries and rigid boundaries. So there's psychological models about the different boundaries that we can have. And in a sense, so if you have too soft boundaries, then you're too open to negativity coming in towards you. If you have too rigid, then you block and push people away that could possibly be positive to you in your life. So somewhere along the way, it's good to learn to have sort of permeable boundaries that will allow good connections with people, but gently push away those things that don't serve you in a sense. So it's kind of quite good to know your limits. I think there's a saying: if you don't fill your own time, someone else will fill that time for you. So if you don't utilize your time well, you're going to have someone in an authority figure, a boss or a spouse or something like that is going to say to you, I have a list for you, a to-do list. And, I think you need to do it. So it's kind of like knowing your limits. Let's talk about a mum and teenage children. So teenagers are constantly pushing your boundaries because they're trying to learn and grow and find out who they really are. Okay. As a parent, if you can know what the limits are that you will allow and what you will disallow, then it'll be easier to stop arguments in their tracks and to deal with particular situations. So you can say to yourself, I mean, I'm just generalizing here, but you can say to yourself, okay, in a particular situation, is this situation safe for what my teenager is trying to get out of me? If it isn't safe, then it's a hard no. No, this is the reason why you can't go out and stay out till 2 o'clock in the morning and you can justify it. If it is safe, let's say your teenager wants to have a big burger night and, you know that it's not good for their health. They're going to break out in spots and it's not good for them. You can say, well, it's pretty safe. So I'll allow it and avoid the argument. So it's kind of knowing what your limits are and how you will allow people to treat you. Okay. And if you can put that in place, then you have lovely boundaries to be able to deal with situations. And then lastly, I don't want to go on too long, but it's really good to know your values. So let's say I have two values, peace and authenticity. Okay. If someone comes to me and they are challenging me in a huge way, I can fall back on my value of peace and say, okay, I want peace in this situation. So how am I going to turn this into a win-win? So that I win, the other person wins, and it's for the greatest good of all concerned, instead of me just trying to be right, trying to take power of the situation and take over. So if you know your values, you can fall onto them and it gives you beautiful boundaries. Okay. Thank you, Cindy.
That's really beautiful. What I'd like to do is bring the example up of the parent and the child when it's not met. So when the parent says, I'm the adult and do as I say, go to your room. And what then happens? How does that cord form? Because I know we've all done that, just get out of my space, go to your room. I mean, I said to my brother-in-law the other day, go to your room. I was just sick of the conversation. I was in his house, I hasten to add, but it was that parent adult like not reasoning. Explain the energy of the person who said it and then the person of the child and how that creates a draining cord. So I'm going to ask you to just talk about that, please.
So in that situation, we have two people who want very different outcomes from this situation. And it is a very emotionally charged situation. So intention and how emotionally charged a situation is will have a massive impact on how effective, strong a cord is and its longevity. So if it's something that is really important to us, if the stakes are high, if we are particularly charged in terms of our emotions, if it's something that through times is important to us, it's not just the party or the burger night that Dennis was referring to, but maybe is the decision of going to a certain school or something that is longer term. The more we're invested from a time perspective, the more we keep on compounding that energy, and the cord grows stronger, hooks deeper. So a number of different things could have happened. The person, let's say the parent, might have a cord that from the throat chakra, where they express themselves, but also their center of leadership, goes into the solar plexus, the power center of the child, and tries to manipulate the solar plexus of the child, saying, do as I say, right? From the throat into the solar plexus of the child, for example. Vice versa, the child might have a different cords that comes out. It might be something that comes from the heart chakra, because we always talk about beautiful things, right, around our heart chakra, but there is light and shadow everywhere. So maybe in the heart chakra of the child, there is something along the lines of, you don't understand my feelings. You don't know how I feel. You don't know how important this is to me. I'm so misunderstood. And from there, from the heart center, perhaps goes into the base of the parent, really wanting to undermine that groundiness, that boundary, that steadiness, that, the rules of the home that the parent is trying to put in place. So we can have multiple cords from different chakras of one person going to another person's chakra, but also different parts of the body. It could be, for example, that someone is like even trying to restrict arms or physical movement. You're not going to text your friends saying that you're going, maybe the parent is cording the fingers as well. So there are certain things that we can observe energetically. And these entanglements happen on different levels, right? Can affect us in the here and now. Can be something that once the argument is dispersed, then the cord gets dissolved as well. But can be something that is carried for a longer amount of time. Now, in the quite practical example that Dennis gave us, of course, those are not the only cords that these two people have. There will be a lot of other cords of love, respect, joy, perhaps even complicity, of all the lovely activities that you do with your children, of all of the things that you quite happily said yes. So when we talk about cords, especially when we're talking about people that we don't really want to cut out of our lives, this is not the annoying boss that we don't want to see. This is not the neighbor that has a dispute over a boundary. This is someone that we love, whether it's a spouse or whether it's a child, a best friend, a relative. Those cords will then become part of a much more complex I suppose, a cord system of positive and negative cords. So the trick there is going in and focusing on the ones that we want to remove, and in fact give more fuel and more power and more energy to the ones that are so loving and supportive.
So I think that's really beautiful. And we're going to identify where Dennis was the bad cop. We identified the ones that needed to be removed. Later on to end tonight, Sole, we're going to come back and we're going to have a look at how we enhance those. Think of a mother and a baby. There might be a cord of irritation when the baby cries and frustration when it throws its food, but the love, a mother is corded at every single energy center to her baby in the informative years. So this is just such a like a complex spaghetti junction of different things in our energy field, and so we really can work with them.
So we're going to bring ourselves back to a calm, peaceful place. I encourage you to put both of your feet on the ground if you can, and if you feel comfortable closing your eyes, please do that. And find a nice, comfortable, safe position for your body to be held while we work with your energy. And just allow yourself a moment to be present. Bring your attention to your base. Your base chakra is at the very bottom of your spine. And from there, reaffirm your grounding. So check that you're still nice and connected with Mother Earth. And perhaps you can visualize roots of anchors, creating this beautiful bond and connection with Mother Earth. And feel that connection going as deep as it's safe and appropriate for you at this time. And from your base, feel this beautiful flow of grounding energy rising into the central column of your body, where your chakras are, the center of your physical body. This beautiful wave that's steady and gentle and healing. This wave that washes upwards and brings that sense of calm and presence into your own energy. And allow this wave to rise at the front and back and around your body and reach your heart center. And then allow it to flow further up all the way to the top of your head, what your crown chakra is. And from that point, set the intention to reach the highest source of light, the highest vibration that is available to you at this time. And feel that sense of connectedness, nicely, safely held by Mother Earth and beautifully connected to the universe, to all that is. And allow this calm, peaceful, universal energy to pour into your crown and then travel downwards into your heart space. And really notice how it feels to be into your center. And now I would like you to bring into your heart space a loved one. This could be a relative, a spouse, a child, but also a pet. Could be someone who is very close to you physically, or someone that perhaps lives far away, but someone that you know you love dearly, someone that is so special to you, someone that either has been in your life for a very long time or is relatively new. It doesn't matter. Just someone that makes your heart feel replenished, someone that is so important to you that every time that you think about them, there is a smile on your face and you always wish them well and hope all the best for them. And again, it could be human, could be from the animal kingdom. And really notice how your vibration feels when you bring this special person, this special being into your heart center, when you bring it into your awareness. How does it feel? And notice how your physical body is reacting. Notice if perhaps there is a little tingle somewhere in your body, a little pinch, a slight tension. And really pay attention to the entirety of your body. From the very top of your head, and then the front of your body, the sides, the back, all the way down to your feet. Notice if there is anything, maybe a little ticklish sensation that comes into your awareness as you think about this beautiful being that you love so much and care so much about. And allowing your body and your energy to guide you. If you felt a little tingling, or if you felt a little sensation in your body, simply using your intention and holding the intention that you're connecting with this beautifully nurturing and positive cord that you have established with your loved one. Really bring your intention into that point. And it might be something that you can identify into the body, or simply hold the intention in your heart space. And visualize this cord bathed in the most beautiful, high vibrational healing light that is supported by grounding energy, attuned to the universe, and is so beautifully channeled through your heart space into your cord towards this person or being that is so special for you. And notice that the more you channel this beautiful healing energy into the cord, the brighter it gets, the more it blossoms, perhaps even more colors appears into your mind's eye. And hold this sense of love and healing for the highest good of all involved, and the reaffirming of this positive, supportive, healthy cord between you and this being. And visualize the energy flowing through the cord and being received from the highest self for that person or being for the highest good in a way that is supportive and balanced and vibrationally appropriate and safe for them into their energy field. You might also want to express some words of gratitude towards this person. You might want to express some words of love and appreciation towards this person or being as you reaffirm and expand this cord. And as we channel this beautiful healing energy through this positive cord, notice how it also gets cleansed and cleared, becomes more vivid, the energy becomes more vibrant. And just take a moment to hold that connection, really grounded in steadiness and love and respect, and for the highest good of all involved. And we always set intention that we respect the other person's free will, that these wishes come from a place of love and respect and for the highest good of all involved. And with that, gently bring your awareness back into your heart center. Affirm, I take back all that is mine and I give back all that is yours, to ensure you're properly back into your own energetic field. And visualize the entirety of your field being showered in a cleansing and clearing, beautiful rainfall on clearing energy that clears away any energetic debris, brings you back into your center, washes away in a safe way energy that doesn't belong to you, and safely transmutes it. And notice how you feel into your own energy centers, into your body, into your aura, into your overall being, into your body. Bring a little bit more groundiness to your being by extending your root, perhaps pushing slightly your feet on the ground. And then set a gentle but firm, kind but assertive bubble of protection around you. Has good energetic boundaries all around your aura, not just your physical body, above and below you, at the front and back, right and left side. And once you're ready, bring yourselves back into your surrounding with a deep breath and open your eyes.
Wow, that was so beautiful. I could just feel that love vibration. I don't know, all the way through. That was really, really lovely. Thank you, everybody. Soleil, thank you so much for tonight. Dennis, thank you so much for tonight. Thank you for joining. And each and every one of you, thank you for showing up, staying the length of there. And we look forward to seeing you either in London or Cape Town or online at the school. So a very good weekend to all of you. Take care and lots of love from all of us.